Jeez, you guys are serious about your podcast.
I usually do these as Zoom calls, so this is
me
different for me too. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FTX Podcast. It's a special pleasure here to have with me today, Shaq.
Loosen up, brother. Do it
Loosen
again.
up?
Yeah,
All right.
relax.
Woo!
You're in Miami. Relax.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Matter of fact, bro.
Take the hat off?
No, just
backwards?
Yeah. There you go. Relax,
Let's do it,
bro.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Should
And
I just keep
action.
going? All right.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FTX Podcast. Really happy to have here with me today, Shaq. I don't know if he needs too much of an introduction, but thanks for your time, man.
Thanks for having me.
So to get things started, usually what I ask is for people to give a little bit of the backstory, the background. Everyone knows who you are, so I'll kind of just dive into the questions here.
Let's do it.
I want to hear the genesis story. I want to hear when basketball became a thing for you and how that pathway began.
So as a kid, I was a dreamer. So started off playing football, baseball, basketball. You know who Dr. J is?
Yep.
So Dr. J had a movie that was called The Fish to Save Pittsburgh, and it was a fabulous movie. And I kind of was like, I want to do that. Either on the movie side or the basketball side. So at this time, I was a D-level student. So my father used this opportunity and said, hey, if you get good grades, I'll take you to see that Dr. J guy. And I was like, he's real? Like, yeah, he's real. So I managed to get all C's, and he took me to Madison Square Garden, sitting up top. We couldn't afford tickets. Dr. J goes baseline, and the crowd goes crazy. It actually scared me, because it was like, and I was like, But it's like the basketball guys just entered me, and I just formed some type of discipline that my father always wanted. Because my father was a drill sergeant. Mm-hmm. So I looked at him, I said, sir, I know what I want to do when I grow up. And he said, his words, true words, if you listen to me, I'll make you the most dominant big man in NBA history. I was 12 at the time. I was a terrible player in the age bracket I was in. And hey, I listened, and I stayed out of trouble, and I just listened to my father's wisdom, and just kept playing hard, and I became one of the best big men ever. But Dr. J was the guy that made me want to become a professional NBA player.
So that moment, you're saying, just open a portal, and you're like, this is happening from here on out.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And what did it take to get to that? Like, what did it mean? Did it mean training all the time? What was the difference?
A lot of hard work, a lot of trials and tribulations. I always tell people I grew up a Karate Kid lifestyle. What I mean by that, left the projects of Newark, New Jersey, moved to Georgia. Left Georgia, moved to Germany. Left Germany, moved to Texas. Left Texas, went to school in Baton Rouge. So what that enabled me to do is relate to all people, right? So also when I was young, I had to babysit my younger siblings. What that enables me to do is communicate with children. My father is the connoisseur of you do not make two mistakes in a row or you get touched up. So every time I make a mistake, I learn from that mistake. And criticism just fuels me. Because when you grow up with a drill sergeant, that's all you get. And you have to be damn near perfect. So when I play a game that's not a good game, and I'm already mad at myself, as soon as I see something in the paper, oh, Shaq's not that good, now I'm pissed. Now I got to kill you in front of your girlfriend, in front of your wife, in front of your whole city. And it just made me great. Like a lot of people can't take criticism. They go the other way, but criticism just fuels me. So I wouldn't say a lot of training. I just, I train my basic 2-3 hours because the body can only take 2-3 hours maximum performance a day. Mm-hmm. So, all those people, I go to the gym, I go to the gym, I go to the gym. Yeah, right. 2-3 hours a day, discipline, and, just wanting. I always wanted to be great.
Mm-hmm. And at what point, because you said it when you were 12 is when you realized that this was your objective and it's what you wanted to do, was there a point where that became reality? Was it when you were in high school? Was it after high school? At what point did you realize, okay, this is serious, I'm actually playing ball professionally?
When you grow up in a disciplined environment, you always need validation.
Yep.
Like my father, is it filled up to the top, sir? No, go put some more in it. So in high school, they said I was the best guy in the country, but I wanted one guy to say it. Mm-hmm. His name was Dick Vitale. I wanted him to say Shaq was the best. Like, he never said it. And then I met him at a high school basketball tournament. I went to shake his hand. I was like, hello, Mr. Vitale. And he says, and you are? He didn't know who I was. I said, oh. So I told him, I said, I'm nobody. I said, what time is it, sir? He said, it's 10 o'clock a.m. I said, about 3 o'clock after the game, you're going to know my name. I was so pissed. So the first play of the game, McDonald's All-American. I'll let you show the clip.
Scored 84 points in 2 games against Chris Jackson in high school.
Here's Shaquille.
Look at this guy handling the ball. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's a 7-footer. Are you serious? to celebrate in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh, those Cajuns will love him down there, won't they? The crowd is oohing it on. Gary, hold me back, baby. Can't believe this. Hey, take a look at this. He blocks the shot. We're looking at a 7-footer, 260 pounds. He's putting the rock to the deck, and now he says, get out of my way. And he explodes with a power jam. Hakeem, the Dream Olajuwon, eat your heart out. Those NBA guys can't do this.
He took off from the free throw line.
Oh, my dear. And they wonder why you get excited in a
I was
game
too.
like basketball, Gary.
I was excited as you were.
So the first play of the game, I take it and I go coast to coast and I dunk it and I look at Mr. Vitale and I'm reading his lips. Oh my God, Shaquille O'Neal. So now I know I'm the best high school player. Now when I get to college, I have to start all over. But I'm prepared for it because I went from here to here and now I'm back here. So now I said, okay, now that I'm back here, I'm just gonna do the same thing to get to here. Same guy needs to say my name in college. So the first year I'm learning, I didn't do well, but my sophomore year and then my third year, I was the man. I just needed Dick Vitale to say it again. So he came in, he said, man, this game right here is very important. We were playing against Arizona. Arizona was ranked number 2 in the country. He said, this game will determine if you're the first pick, second, or third pick. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, they say you're the best, but I think, this is what he said, but I think somebody else is ranked ahead of you, the guy from Duke, Christian Laettner. So I was like, thank you, Mr. Vitale. You just pissed me off again. So we beat Arizona, and then, again, I go home after the game, watch the game. It's like, Shaquille O'Neal, if he leaves, he's the first pick in the NBA. Yes. So now, college, I'm the top guy in college. Now when I get to the NBA, oh, you're not the top guy, brother. Mike, Ewan, Robinson, Barkley. I just had to work my way up. But when you're disciplined and something works, I just stick with it. I said, okay, I was at the bottom of high school. This is what I did. This is what I did in college. And I just did the same thing in the pros. So about the 4th, 5th year, they said I was the best big man in the game. And that's all I ever wanted.
And before I ask some questions about pro ball, I'd like to ask if you have some words of advice. I know there's a lot of young people in the country and the world that are aspiring to be professional athletes in different fields.
I just say, go for it. Don't worry about status. Play your best, do your best, have fun, and never let anyone tell you you can do it. I once had a coach tell me I couldn't chew gum and walk at the same time. Because at one point I was clumsy in their eyes. I just didn't grow into my body yet. When I was 13, I had something called Osgood Schlatter's. That's when you grow too fast and your knees don't catch up. But I was just slow and sore, and the guy was like, you'll never make it to the NBA. You might as well join the Army like your father. I'm like, okay, so, if I'd have listened to that advice, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be in the Army somewhere.
And it was because of your dad that when people gave you criticism, that
Yeah.
actually fueled your drive?
Yeah, because I wanted to impress him. I wanted to make him smile. And these days, disciplines like that would not be allowed, but he passed away 10 years ago. I look up at this guy and I say thank you every day, because I'm a great man because of him. He stayed on me. A lot of these kids out here today need parents like my dad. My dad stayed on me, and I was a high-level juvenile delinquent. So, if you don't have a dad like that, again, I wouldn't be here now. But whenever I made a mistake, he disciplined me, and then so he had something that was called the pound cake method. He disciplined with me, and then we have a piece of pound cake and some milk, and he explained to me like a man, you dummy, your boy stole a car, and you jump in the car with your boy, he don't know how to drive, and then y'all crash, and then you get caught, and then your boy rats you out. I'm not mad that you stole a car. Well, I'm mad that you stole a car, but I'm mad that you were stupid. You were a follower, not a leader. So he would teach me, and then I was like, you know what? The discipline I got from this first time, next time they say, hey man, let's ride in this car. Nope, I'm good, brother.
Yep.
I'll see y'all around. So it all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a bit more on a personal level, but now as a father yourself, have you taken some of these things as well?
No, because trials and tribulations are different. I grew up in a drug-infested, gang-infested area. My kids have not done that. So I teach them about respect, honor, and just following their dreams. And if I have to discipline them, when I was in college getting into my business mode, one of my favorite books was The 1 Minute Manager. So if I have to discipline my children, I just do it in 1 minute. Mm-hmm. The girls, I don't do that, because girls, you have to be, touchy. So I'll just look at the girls and give them 30 seconds. But the guys, and then calm down, and then explain to them, boom, 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 boom. And then I just try to lead by example. Like I'm big into charities, but nobody ever told me to do it.
Yeah.
That's what my father did. Like, I always tell 3 stories. He was my coach coming up. So whenever a kid got, injured, we'd have to go to the hospital and visit all the other kids. That's the first thing. One day, come with me. We wake up at 6, get all the clothes you don't want. Get all my clothes, we go to the barracks, he screamed, wake up, wake up, wake up. So all the young GIs, get all the clothes and all the stuff you don't want. We all have to put it in the box and we take it to the Salvation Army. And I asked him, I said, why are you doing that? He said, you see these people, they have nothing. We have something, we're not using it, we might as well give it to them. And my favorite story is my father got some extra income one time. He said, let's go eat. It was just me and him. Now keep in mind when I say let's go eat, not a sit-down restaurant. No, Wendy's, McDonald's. So in New Jersey, White Castle. You know what White Castle is?
Yep.
So we go to White Castle. He gets 8 double cheese. I get 8 double cheese. We couldn't finish them. On the way home, we see a homeless guy. He said, veteran, will work for food. So my father pulls over and they start talking Army talk. My dad comes in the car. He grabs the cheeseburgers. And I'm like, no. He gives it to the guy. I was like, why you get the guy? And before I could even finish it, doom. That guy needs this. He was in the military. He's on hard time. I just talked to him. He hasn't eaten in a few days. Give him this food. So stuff like that always stayed with me. So when I became the Shaq, and I see people in need, it's my job and it's my duty to do it. Some people call it giving back. I call it, it's what I was taught. Mm-hmm. It's what I've seen my favorite man in the world do. So I'm gonna continue his work.
It's special to have a role model like that.
Yes.
Very special. And going back to basketball, because I know that's where a lot of your journey began in this professional career and before going into the business stuff, but what was pro ball like? What was your first game like walking out on that court? Like, did you still have that chip on your shoulder, or did you feel like you had made it?
I didn't have a chip. So people always ask me, what does it feel like to be rich? And my interpretation is, I used to see my mother wake up, cook a hell of a breakfast. Not really, but yes, for 5 kids. Iron our clothes, take us to school, pick us up, come take a 10-minute sit-down break, cook a hell of a spread, iron our clothes for the next day, and never complain. My definition of being rich is, Mom, go in the store and get whatever you want. Because if it wasn't for me playing basketball, so I asked my mom and dad, I said, what's the most you ever made? $30,000 a year. So my definition of it, so I remember when I was buying, when I moved to Orlando, because my mom's the type, this is yours, you deserve it, you take it. I was like, well, y'all come to move with me. No, we're gonna stay. We had a little house in San Antonio, it was like 3 bedrooms, 6, and I was like, hey, we made it. No, baby, that's your money. Just send us something, whatever you like. So I said, okay. So I said, I need you to come house shopping with me. The house is only, I don't like talking numbers, but 600,000. 9,000 square feet in Orlando. So I'm looking at the house, and it's some stuff we would never be able to see if it wasn't for the NBA. So I go in, and we're talking to the realtor, and I was like, Mom, you like this house? She's like, babe, this is a beautiful house for you. And as soon as I gave her the keys, I've never seen tears that big come down. That's my definition of being rich. So when I got to the NBA, I was like, I made it. This man, drill sergeant, and this secretary, they told me I would be here, I'm here. Now that I'm here, I have to cherish it and take it to the next level. Because when I was coming out, contracts were different. So when I was in high school, I only wanted to make $8 million for 10 years. That was my goal, and I had it all set up. I was gonna get one Mercedes-Benz and one Jimmy S10 Blazer. You don't know what that is, but the old guys know. Any old guys in here over 40? I used to love the S10 Blazers. I was gonna get an S10 Blazer. But things started changing. So then when I got my agent and he came out, he's like, you can get 40 million. I was like, what? So then he said, yeah, we're gonna do 40 million, and then, after year 3, if you play it good, you can get 100 million. I said, what'd you just say to me? So now, the motivation is, it's not for me, it's like, bro, this is for my family. It's for my mom. And then I remember when I got my first $1 million, I spent it in about 30 minutes. So I got a check for $1 million. I said, I'm about to go get this black Benz that I wanted. So I get it. I pull up to the house. My dad was like, where's mine at? Now in my mind, I was like, okay, $1 million minus 150, I got 850 left. We go to the dealership, we get him one. Then we get my mom one. You know, I got to get the earrings and the jewelry and the suit. I get an apartment. The bank guy calls me the next day and said, Mr. O'Neill, I need to have a conversation with you. So I go and I'm looking. And, you know, as an athlete, they always have these horror stories about how agents steal money from you.
Yeah.
And I'm looking and I'm like, who the fuck is FICA? You know who FICA is? Yes, because fucking FICA had took $250,000 from me. So I thought I was getting $1 million, but I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who is FICA? And the guy just started laughing. And he handed me the book, The Dummy's Guide to Starting Your Own Business. So that's how I got into business. But, you know, when I first stepped on the court, I was like, man, I'm here. I can't believe it. Let's go to work.
And was the performance of that first game sort of what you were expecting, or was it a
I had,
progression, a build-up?
no, I had 10 points and like 15 rebounds and a couple blocks. We played in the Miami Heat. It was cool, but you know, my mother always used to say, "Make them remember your name." So I was nervous. I had a couple of turnovers, but you know, once I figured it out, the whole world, you know, was in trouble.
What's the mindset to be able to go out on a court and, you know, play against the Titans of that time, especially when you're coming into the sport as a new character?
So I have a lot of stories relating back to my father. Another story, he takes me to a game one day, and it's a terrible game. So on the way back home, he's pissed. And he hits me again. Boom. He said, if you ever make it to this level and people play to see you perform, make sure you give them their money's worth. So I wasn't playing for me. I was playing for this guy and his son. This guy and his son. These two guys that's just hanging out. This family. They pay to see me play. Everybody's talking about this new kid named Shaq. Let's give him something. So I always try to, you know, for them and win and let all these other legends know that I'm coming to take your spot. I'm coming to take your spot. Because life to me is a karate movie. Before I become the master, I have to kill the master. I'm the student now. And you're Bahama Chang Wang Chi. I'm coming to kill you. It may take me a few times. You may beat me a few times, but at some point.
I don't think I'll beat you any times.
Well, we know, but so that's how I always thought. So I'm looking at Jordan and Magic and all these guys. I'm like, I want your spot. I'm coming for your spot. And they all knew I was coming. And then, you know, I finally got it one day.
What is the life of like a top-tier professional athlete? Are you in a routine where you have to go every single day and train and eat a certain way, or is it kind of what you make of it?
You want me to lie to you or tell you the truth?
The truth.
So the first 4 years I did what I wanted to do. Because you're not taking my mother's house away. I don't care who you are. Wake up, practice. You know, practice is 2 or 3 hours, train. Then I got the rest of the day myself. Now the rest of the day is you have to stay out of trouble. So I lived on the lake, so it's fun stuff, see-do, shopping, you know, learning more about business, but you're not gonna take my mother's house away. No, nobody in this world, I don't care who it is. I have to play well so my mother can keep this house.
Yep.
That's how I thought. Now when you get older and, you know, you gotta start eating right, and I hired a chef and I did all that, but, you know, I only trained 2 to 3 hours a day. Everything else is up here. Like I already knew what I was gonna do. So you got a nice body. I'm just going to take you in the paint and beat you up. You look strong, but I want to just test out your strength and see how strong you are. And if you are as strong as me, then I'm going to take you outside, do a little stuff. But we'll just, you know, so everything, I had to become a creature of habit, especially, you know, the way I played.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And you talked about this advisor's accountant giving you this first book that started your pathway into business. I mean, now you're known as a pretty prolific businessman across a lot of different fields. Was that actually the starting moment, or were there other
Yeah,
things
that was a starting moment. But, you know, another thing about me is just because I am who I am, I also know I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Not even the smartest guy in this room. And I like not being the smartest guy in the room. Because if I want to learn something about that camera right there, I'm just going to talk to my guy. If I want to know anything about podcast production, talk to big man right there. So my favorite chapter in the book was joint ventureships. So I'm saying, how can I own a shoe company and play basketball? Can't do it. Can't play basketball today and then go run the shoe company. I'm gonna do a joint ventureship. So I'm really became the master of joint ventureships. Now when you have a joint ventureship, it's about relationships and trust. And you know, if I trust you, I mean I like you, we're gonna do business together. and we're gonna, I hate to use this word, we're going to use each other's talents, and we're gonna make it work. So that's how I run all my businesses, where I work, but not really. So like if I wanted to do, have my own phone, I just do a deal with AT&T.
Yep.
They run it, slap my name on it. We do some commercials, bada bang, bada bang, and that's how it works. A lot of people try to be hands-on, but I'm not that smart.
How do you get this feeling of trust for people? Was it something that took time and learning,
No,
maybe getting burned?
no, you just, well, listen, everybody gets burnt, but again, I'm programmed not to have stuff, happen 2 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You learn when you become our age is things that are too good to be true, stay away from it. Stay away from it. It just, it looks so good and I want to invest, you just stay away from it. Another one of my favorite words from the book is due diligence. Hey man, I did this FTX podcast, we were #1 on that. Okay, we'll see. Hey man, who is this guy? Shaq, he did do the FTX podcast, it was #1. He had a hell of a crew, I think you should do something with him. So if I'm doing business with you and I don't know you, do my due diligence. If any one of my guys know you and know who you are, the deal's gonna be done. We're gonna do it. So it's all about the people you have around you, and this is just all about, that gut feeling. Sometimes your gut feeling can be wrong, sometimes it can be right. But most of the time, I've been right.
Yeah, I'm into that. Are there some of these businesses that you've enjoyed more than others that stand out to you?
All of them. I'm just glad that I just have the opportunity to, set good example for my children, set good example for other people that come from where I come from. I wasn't the guy that made the high score in the SAT. I wasn't the guy that was at the top of in the front of the class answering all the questions. That wasn't me. I found my niche in life, and from that niche I learned other niches. But the way I learn is by asking questions. Like I tell my kids all the time, how can you get a C? Are you kidding me? You got Google and iPads. Like I tell my kids now, if I had all the shit that y'all had, I'd be a freaking genius. Like we used to have to go to people's door and knock on their doors and ask for encyclopedias. You know what that is?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we used to have to borrow people's encyclopedia to do reports. If I had all this Google and Bing and all this, I'd be a genius. And YouTube tutorials, man, I'd be like Jeff. I'd be the black Jeff Bezos right now. I promise you I would. So I like asking questions. Like if I don't know something, I'll ask. Like I ask, what's the purpose of this little green thing in front of the lights? And somebody will tell me. Now I know. Like if I know he's working at it and he's been working at it for 10 years, he's an expert. As soon as he tells me, I'm an expert now. So now when I do my production thing, hey man, what is that called?
Green flag.
Yeah, hey man, I like the lights a little too bright, give me a green flag. Now I know these things. I think a lot of people, when they get to certain positions, they forget, oh, I'm big time now. I never forget, brother, ever.
Yeah, that's also what I wanted to ask you about is as you became more famous, initially in basketball, but also business, how is it like having people always recognizing you, want to talk to you? Is that hard?
I don't consider myself famous. I was famous one time, and my best friends taught me a lesson. So my high school was 239 people, 9 through 12. 39 people in the senior class. So first article comes out, Coles O'Neal best in the U.S. So I'm walking around like I'm the man. So this school and my guys, I come to school and I walk on the left, whole school shifts to the right. Nobody talks to me, I'm not even there. That's the first day. Second day, I go in the lunchroom, I put my tray down, everybody in the cafeteria leaves. Like, damn. So the third day, I'm playing with basketball with my guys. I go to this side of the court, everybody sprint down. So finally I asked my best friend, I said, yo, man, what's going on? I said, yo, man, ever since that article came out, you've been acting like you're God. You didn't make the All-American team by yourself. You kind of forgot about us. I was like, you're right. So that was in 1989. So I haven't been arrogant since 1989. And then you have to realize all this stuff that's here could be taken away from you. If you misuse your powers, you'd be taken away from you. So look, life is simple. This guy's nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to him. This guy speaks to me, be nice to me. Little kid wants an autograph, how can I say no to a little kid? I don't really consider myself famous. I'm on TV a lot, people know the face, and then I hate to say it, these famous people are assholes. I wanna be in that category with those people. You saw me coming here, I'm by myself. I don't have 100 people with me and homeboys and entourages. I don't want to be like that. Like, you know, when I walk in a place, it's, hey, Shaq, what's up? Hey, man, can I get something to eat? Sure. Not Shaq and 50 other people. These celebrities are assholes, and I actually denounced being a celebrity, I think like 7 months ago. Don't put me in the category of them people. I'm just a regular guy that do regular stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that also a regular guy that stokes out a lot of people as well.
Yes.
So you've been through a lot of different businesses. You've seen a lot of fields. You've probably learned a lot by asking questions to all these people. What's it that called you about crypto and blockchain? Like, when did that start for you?
When it first hit the market, I didn't know anything about it. But luckily my kids do. And they're trying to explain it. What I like about it is the community aspect. Get to see people and talk to people who I probably would never talk to. And I like their enthusiasm. And me and my son and a couple of my boys, we started our own project called Astrals. And we just want to bridge the gap, and you know, we want to bridge the gap, so we did something with Solana to bring the universe together. And I'm not an expert, I'm learning every day. But again, the community aspect, I'm just, you know, having fun talking to people and, you know, learning. Like it's, you know, a lot of people when they get into these projects, they think about the next day. I'm thinking about 10, 15 years down the line. And nothing I do is ever based on monetary. My agent is over there. I don't know what I'm making in deals. I know what I got, but I don't like, you say, hey man, we want to do a deal. They want to don't tell me. I don't want to base anything off monetary value. So this crypto, this NFT projects, I like it. I enjoy it. I wish I can tell you that I'm an expert. I am not. I didn't know anything about it, but I'm starting to learn. But I know I always want to bring people together. That's my thing. It's 2022 and we got stuff going on that should have been gone 30, 40 years ago. I hate turning on the news sometimes, like, really? Are you kidding me? So I want to be the guy that when you see this face, you smile. I want to be the guy that when you see this face, you say, you know what? I had a friend, I haven't talked to him in a while. I should call him up today. Because I'm very happy. Like, I'm usually at 100, but I'm at a 95, and I'm going to tell you why. My sister died right before Kobe. So I'm working all the time, right? And I was the guy that, instead of calling her, I'll do it tomorrow. I got the FTX podcast today, I'm gonna head out to Miami, I'll call her tomorrow. It was always like that. And then she's gone, that tomorrow can't come back. Same thing with Kobe, we should have reached out. So everybody out there, if you got an old friend and you had a little argument, forget that. Call, text, just say something, because when they're gone, you can never talk to them again. That's the only thing that kind of shuts my day down on a daily basis. But other than that, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm glad to be here with you. But you know, if you have an old friend, an old girlfriend, an old buddy, and just didn't work out, forget all that, man. Just call them and text them, check on them, family, let them know you care about them, because when they're gone, they're gone. My sister haunts me the most because she was perfect. She passed away of cancer, but she never asked me for anything, she never bothered me. She had 2 degrees, she was running a prominent hotel in Orlando, and I'll call you tomorrow, baby. She'd text me, hey, I love you, baby. Like, it was just because, you know, I was chosen for some reason to take care of the family. So that's my main thing. You know, a man's job is, you know, especially when you're dealing with women, girlfriends, wives, daughters, sisters, is to protect, provide, and love. So since I was chosen, I gotta make sure everything's right. Boom, boom, boom. So I was always working. Never got a chance to say I love you and I miss you and thank you. So that's my advice to people out there.
Yep. Yes, sir. Thank you. I mean, I was raised by a single mom and I have a sister as well. And it's a good reminder to not always be working and try to connect with them as well.
So I'm ordering you, as soon as you get off here, just text us, say I love you. Yeah. How you doing? FaceTime or
Yeah, my mom's actually in Miami. The only reason I'm in Miami right now is because my mom is here. So.
Make sure you have lunch with her and, you know, just tell her you love her. And happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful women out there.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. You kind of already touched on this, but my last question for you, Shaq, is another one of advice. I like to ask if there is a life lesson or a habit that's stuck with you that's improved your life that you could share with the listeners. I think the one you already shared is perhaps more impactful, but if there's anything else.
I have a lot of life habits, but treat people as you expect them to treat you. Muhammad Ali said, you can judge a man on how he treats the janitor. I treat everybody with honor and respect. Doesn't matter to me if you're a busboy, janitor. How you doing, sir? How's your family? Nice to see you. My man working the sign. What's up, brother? I like those heavy. Like you gotta. I'm the Shaq, but I'm not here, and you're here. That doesn't exist to me. We're all here. Everybody has a place on this earth. Where would I be without basketball? Where would I be? Would I be a millionaire? Nope. Would I be one of these tech geniuses? Nope. Would I be Sam, the guy that owns FTX? Hell no. So you bless, but again, you disrespect your blessings, bad things will happen. I can never do that. I can never treat people like they're lesser. Like I'm honored that, because I haven't played in 15 years? I'm honored. I was just walking down the street, a little kid said Shaq. And in my mind I was like, how did this person even know who I am? So I have to protect that. And I just like meeting people. Like when I was your age, I was in my fighting stage, but I'm 50. I don't want to fight no more, bro. All I want to do is love. Like, give me a hug. That's all I want from you, brother. All I want is a hug. And, bro, we're here in Miami. Like, you come to Miami to hang out and look at girls and drink on the beach. Who wants to fight? Like, all these people coming out here to fight, take your ass back to where you're from. Like, let's just have love and peace. Before I leave this earth, I just want everybody to just go up to each other and just go. Forget, hey, you wearing this and you're a Democrat, you're a Republican. Forget all that. How you doing, sir? Nice to meet you, brother. You doing all right? Family doing good? You live in Albany? All right, nice to see you. All right, have fun out there. Boom, bam. Not, you live in Albany, you should stay in here. Like, forget all that. I think sometimes people, they just feel the power with these phones and with these social media apps, but I don't do that. So my life lesson is just treat everybody with honor and respect. Doesn't matter your color, your race, your religion. I treat everybody with honor and respect. I can go up to people and be like, Shalom, Salam Alaikum, how you doing, brother? What's up? Ni hao to my Chinese friends. You know, people in London. It's getting better. Like I can do. I just try to be, universal.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing. And
Thank you,
so much
brother.
for coming on the podcast.
No problem.
Damn, you got some powerful hands, dude. I feel like I thought I had big
Knock
hands.
somebody out on this beach.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.